Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I'm so grateful that you've joined me for this little while. I got hair in my eye. We are completing our series on getting to know ourselves. And the guides presented me with what I think is an interesting idea for our last meditation. So let's begin with one nice deep breath and I'll get off camera and we'll get into it. Yeah. So let's continue with these three more nice deep breaths. And the first one, just breathe into your chest and feel your chest and maybe your upper back expand. Hold it for a second. And release it. And now breathe a little more deeply into your belly. Feel your lungs expand in your back a little more deeply. Hold it for a second. And now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Breathing all the way down into your belly. Feeling your lower belly expand a little. Filling up your chest, your back. Holding it for a second and then releasing it. Maybe blowing it loudly out your mouth the way I have. And so we like to begin by relaxing our bodies. So let's bring everything to the center line. Pull your feet together and curl your toes a little. And push your knees together. Imagine kind of drawing your pelvis all the way in toward the middle, your midsection. Curl your fingers in tightly, clench your hands, pull your arms to your sides. Pull your back in, your chest in. Maybe pull your shoulders up to your ears or pull your head down, whichever way you want to visualize it. And just tighten everything to the middle. And hold that for a second. And while you are, let's say an affirmation together. I'll say it first and then we can hold it or, affirm it together. I now release anything that no longer serves me. And think it one more time. I now release anything and everything that no longer serves you, and now let go. Feel your neck grow a little longer. Notice the increased blood flow to your toes, your feet, legs, body, back, fingers, cheeks. And just allow your body to settle in. Make sure that you are in a comfortable position so that you can completely relax. You don't have to hold any of your muscles tight or taut to maintain your position. So the guide suggested on our last week of getting to know ourselves that we think about who loves us. And maybe we take a little trip back in time to before we're born, and to feel that sense of love from the infinite and from every being supporting us as we are about to embark on these journeys. So we'll have a few seconds of quiet to just imagine like legions of angels and beings just all surrounding us, rooting for us. And now it would never occur to us to even imagine being unlovable in this place, because the place itself is pure love. Isn't that wonderful? pure love energy. Oh, yeah. And so feel that love all around you. And know that love is your truest essence. So as that is true, nothing about you is unlovable. And I don't know about you, but when I think of something about me that is unlovable, I usually think about some part of my body that is less than ideal. But maybe for you it's that you're impatient, or you tend to put things off to the last minute, or whatever it may be. Know that all of those things are human. Of course our bodies are human. They're human bodies. But our personalities are human as well. So I invite you to remember that every part of you is lovable, even the human parts that someone has named unlovable or imperfect or undesirable. So let's just know in the deepest part of our beings that our infinite selves are love itself, and that perhaps a challenge we might have is loving ourselves exactly as we are. And I think to that end is why the guide suggested for today we think about who loves us. So imagine you are surrounded in this energy field of pure love, and you come in and you begin as a fetus in your mother's womb. And whether you were planned or unplanned, as I was, know that there is always a place in a mother's heart where she loves her baby. And all of the infinite is moving through your mom to you, to love you. And as you're born, everybody who was present when you were born was rooting for you. They may not have defined it as love, but that's what it was. They were loving, seeing this new life come into this world. And so if you knew your grandparents, think about your grandparents. And for some reason, the love from a grandparent to a grandchild seems to be just a pure, pure love. And so if you had a good relationship with your grandparents, or if you never met them, I guarantee you from talking to dead people for more than 30 years that they would have loved to have met you, and they would have loved you. And so just imagine the love from your grandparents. My maternal grandparents had 60 grandchildren, one who was given away for adoption. And I can't comprehend having that many grandchildren, but I can comprehend that you would love each one of them in their own way. and feel that sense of honor and privilege that you get to be their grandparent. And so let's think about your family of origin, your parents, and if you are blessed that they are still alive, call them today. Your siblings. Before you all came in, you made this agreement to travel your childhoods together. And nobody knows you like your siblings. And I would argue nobody has the power to love you like your siblings, because they understand how vulnerable you are. And sometimes that's all it takes for us to love someone, is to see their vulnerability and allow it to touch upon our own compassion. So let's take a moment and think about the people who couldn't love us, and to know all the way down to the center of our beings that it wasn't because of us. If someone was unable to love you, especially someone whose love you needed or very much wanted, if they were unable to love you, it was because of something in them that prevented them from being able to love you. It didn't mean that you were unlovable. And let's just allow this idea to float on top of the pond for a moment. If someone has had trouble loving you, it's not because of you. It's because of something in them. And let's shift our focus to all of those people who love you. Imagine that you were named Time's Person of the Year. Imagine the phone calls, the text messages, the emails, the letters, the cards you would receive. People would come out of the woodwork. People that you didn't even know admired you. And those whose love means the most to you, the people who are closest to you, would celebrate with you. Because truly, you do deserve to be named Time's Person of the Year, Time Magazine's Person of the Year. And sometimes when we have trouble loving ourselves or accepting ourselves as we are, it can really help to remember other people love us exactly as we are. This past weekend I got to see all 10 of my grandchildren, and to feel that unconditional love from them, and of course for them, is just so amazing. So think about someone that you love and reach out to them today, because they want to hear from you. And I said someone that you love, but I think what I would have liked to have said is someone who loves you. And know that there are so many more people who love you than you realize. You have made so much more of an impact on this planet by your presence than you could possibly imagine. Have you ever received thank you notes or things like that in the mail or over, email or text message? I invite you to save them. And when you're having a difficult time, to go back and read them. And maybe send one to somebody today. So our assignment for the next week is to be aware of all of the people who love us. To be willing to take it in. The person who smiles at you from the next car, or at the store, or the church, or wherever it is you go, walking down the street. The kindness that you receive, that you witness. The beauty all around you. I invite you to take it in and know that it is the beauty and the love in you that makes it possible for you to see the beauty and the love in others. So let's slowly bring our attention back to the present time and place. If you were able to get into a deeper level of meditation, I don't know if I've promised this before, but I found a long, very deep meditation that I recorded a while back, and I found the CD of it, and I'm trying to figure out a way that I can have some sort of visual so that I can offer it on YouTube. Because the meditation itself is very deep. It's 45 to 50 minutes. And sometimes, with these weekly meditations, they seem to go by too quickly. And then they're over. So let me remind you that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are. And to thank you for joining us this week, this time, and to know that the infinite presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the infinite presence moving in, through, and as you. Oops. Namaste.